Hi guys, so a couple of people have asked me how the tank's doing, so I just thought I'd do this video just to show you what I'm using and how well I think the tank's going. Coral's growth is very good in this tank. It is softy and LPS dominated, with loads and loads of frags that I've fragged off. Got plenty of frags available if anybody would like any, but yeah, no, it's mainly a softy reef, and it is being dosed manually. Now the products I'm using are from Brightwell. I've got some from Continuum as well. My main three elements being magnesium, calcium, and alkaline 8.3, and the Borachrome I'm using, which is alkalinity based as well, but it's took some working out with that one, but it's great for red coloration in corals, so I'm hoping I can get these zoas panning out well. But yeah, basically at the minute I'm manually dosing. I'm using 1 capful of magnesium per day. I'm using 2 caps full of the calcium, 1 of the alkalinity and 1 of the Borachrome. Roughly keeps it in check for me. It's a small aquarium, it's 200 litre. But as you can see, it's filled out and it's to where I want it now, really. I can't really put anything else in there, so I need to upgrade, which I do plan on doing. But I've got not a lot of time on my hands these days, so I'm going to go away from the liquids. Now I'm sticking with these, but they do them in powder also, in powder form. So I've used the Voss bottles, drilled the tops out, put the acrylic rods through, so that's all ready for my dosing. Going to be a total of 9 dosing containers for such a small tank, but I'll show you for why in a minute. At the moment I've got the Aquamedic Evo 4 there. I've just purchased the Plus 4 as well, which is the add-on, which I believe just plugs in the side somewhere. Yeah, so you can put the Add 4 on that. I'm not sure whether you can put any more on it, so I may be limited to 8 dosing lines, but we'll see. But yeah, looking forward to getting that going. Other things that I use in the system are obviously my foods. I'm going to have to get in there in a minute because the lovely Gobies decided to fill my A cans up with sand. Got a nice uranium bounce coming there. He's going to be a nice stunner. Courtesy of the Coral Colour, which is chromium based, which is green enhancement for the tank, so it runs in with line with the reds from the Borachrome. I'll show you again in a minute what I use because I keep some stuff in the fridge. But foods I use, spirulina, which is fantastic for coloration in the fish, as you can see. I mean, the yellow tangs are pretty vivid anyway, but the colour in these fish is spectacular. Marine flakes, which is pretty standard, just flake food, and the marine granules. This stuff's my flagship, which is really good stuff. Contains manganese, contains different elements, vitamins, basically a whole round good feed. Then there's squid flakes as well, bit of a delicacy, something, a special treat for your fish, because just like us, they deserve a varied diet. You can see on one of my other YouTube videos the customer reviews and videos sent in from the marine granules. Massive feeding response. I've fed everything I've ever had on them now, and yeah, it's great stuff. Check it out, guys. But oh, look at that little guy. I forgot he was in there. Forgot he was there. But I'll just show you what I use and when I use it in my fridge. Now these products don't have to be kept refrigerated. I just like to do it because it prolongs the life of them. Now Phytochrome, which is a 6 species phytoplankton, suspension for soft corals, clams, sponges and other filter feeders. This one claims to be a colour enhancer as well, so I use a capful of that every day, and I use a capful of the Continuum Microblast as well. It's a really vibrant green thing. In fact, it's very similar to the Red Sea A and B in colour consistency from Red Sea. So those two I do every single day without fail. Also every day without fail, 1 drop per 100 litres of the Lugol's, which is an iodine solution. That goes in the tank as well. So 2 drops of that, because I've got a 200 litre aquarium. Don't be put off by this, because this isn't Coral Amino. I've stopped using Coral Amino because I don't need the speedy growth anymore. But yeah, basically 10 drops of that for my 200 litre system a day. That's the coral colour. It's just, I've just put it in this dropper bottle because it's easier for me to use than the big bottles like this, which now come with child safety caps on, and they're a bit of a pain to work with when you're in a hurry. Every 3 days, Continuum Elements Tea, which introduces products back into the system, things like manganese that your skimmer takes out that are beneficial to your corals in many ways. So I do a capful of that every 3 days, alongside my 3-day regimen is basically every 3 days I do a cap of strontium and I do a cap of potassium. Now it recommends this is basically a capful per 50 gallons, but 50 gallons being about 250 litres, my aquarium's only 200, but because it's heavily stocked, it works out absolutely perfect for me, and this thing's been running on this lot for a long time now. Zooplanktos M, I use Zooplanktos L as well. I've got this one open at the moment. This is for my zoas. Zoas are zooplankton feeders, so I feel it needs that. Sorry, I'm opening and closing the fridge because the alarm drives me crazy. It's only been open for a couple of seconds and it's beeping. And green coloration, your Phyto Green, which is, you know, very similar to what people culture these days, apart from a synthetic base. So I use that every now and then. Hardly use it really. I'm more into this stuff. This is brilliant. A lot of people use that. I am gonna try another few products on, but realistically I've got to be sensible with what I'm doing. So at the moment I've got my main 3 there, and I've got another one over in the corner of the kitchen ready to use, so I shall drill this one out. I've got a small one as well for the coral colour, because it's better being dosed electronically, because let's say for instance I forget a day, the whole system actually cannot benefit very well from it. Once it's on it, you want to keep it consistent and keep it going. So I shall do another video on that at some point, showing you what I use and how I've got it set up. Like I say, all those products, other than those phyto feeds I just showed you in the fridge, the main elements, the minor elements and trace you can get, and they are available in powder form. So I shall be doing that. So it should save me some money as well. Cyclops, that's a good feed for zoas, frozen based. I do a lot of that. Fish eggs I use for Clippos, fancy one of those. But yeah, fish eggs, I've got Mysis Marine Mix I use. I use lance fish from a company called Aquadip, which is quite a nice fish to use for the anemone. So yeah, that's pretty much my resume there, and then I'm gonna start with the Aquamedic doser shortly. I am rejigging the kitchen at some point, so I'm trying to get my tank in the wall done, but I've now found out all this wall's getting knocked out, so I have to take all my radions down again after all the work and everything getting them put up. But yeah, there you go guys, and that's my tank. Forgot to show you as well actually, this guy doesn't run on a skimmer. Hasn't got anything around about, nothing at all. Just got surface skimmer built into the filter intake. You've got inside a Hydra 1500. That's it. That's all that runs this system. Everything else is Brightwell media in there. Catalyst as well. So yeah, it's my little reef. He's 13 years old now. This 13 years it's been running, all grown from frags, teeny tiny little frags. This guy was just a pup when I put him in there. Look at the size of him now. But yeah, there you go.